everyone, this is Vinayak Narwade here again. In the recently conducted UPSC Civil Services examination, I have received All India rank 37, and I find this as my time to give back and tell the new aspirants about my strategy, about the topics, any of the topics which I have worked extensively on. This today is one of my favorite topics, which is time management. Because as a lot of you might be already knowing that I started my preparation when I was in the US working full time, and then when I was confident about the examination, I left my full time job. I came back to India and started studying full time. So I have that sort of an experience with respect to studying part time as well as studying full time, and whatever experience I have gained during these 3 years, especially with respect to time management, will be something that will be shared in this video. Again, we are here on the Unacademy platform today, wherein there are bahubalis of their content, bahubalis of content like economics. Mronal sir is there, Pratik sir is there for history. So you can join this platform too for basically having a comprehensive guideline as well as a good mentors for your preparation that will ease your journey and make this journey more meaningful for you. So let's start with this particular presentation, and the first thing I will be talking about is the overview. What are the total number of hours which you will be wanting to put in to crack this examination? Because remember, as any aspirant would desire, we want to crack this examination in the first attempt itself with a very good rank, and that is not easy. And if it had been easy, there won't be like so many people going forward for it. Only because of it, because it is difficult, one of the most difficult exams in the world, we are actually aspiring to be able to crack that exam and then go into the society as administrators. So time management, total number of hours is something that I will be talking about. Secondly, I will also be talking about the timeline, which will be for beginners. Usually, any exam which we are starting, if you are aspiring to write the CSE examination, we start 1 year beforehand, and then how to distribute the timeline for this particular 1 year will be something I will be talking in detail. Then there is third thing which comes into our mind is how to balance GS and optional, especially for students who have a technical optional. I basically had mathematics, and I found it difficult because there is no overlap between mathematics and GS. So how to balance that particular time, because technical optionals may also ask you to put in more times for them, and then it can be deviating from the GS syllabus. So I'll be speaking in detail on these on this topic too. Now, a lot of students they ask about current affairs, because current affairs is something that is a daily thing. You have to read the newspapers, you have to read the magazines, then whether you should make notes or not. If you are making notes, how long should be the notes? And there are a lot of questions, especially with respect to current affairs, how to integrate them with the static syllabus. So I'll be talking a little bit on that too. Then is answer writing, when to start, whether we should start it before prelims or post prelims, whether we should join a test series or not. These are some points which I will be going through in this particular presentation. So let's start. First is with respect to total number of hours. So I would say that we are attempting one of the most difficult exams in the world. I would say the most difficult exam in the world, and for that we have to prepare accordingly. If you want to basically crack this exam as early as possible, you should start investing as much time as possible. But then, is it possible for everyone? Because as I said, in the first half of my preparation, I was basically working full time, and then in the second half, when I got confident about cracking the examination, I left my job and I started preparing full time. So depending upon what kind of an aspirant are you, if you are a full time aspirant, try to make maximum utilization of your daytime. 14 to 15 hours per day for 1.5 year can help you to a great extent to crack this examination if you are using this time very efficiently, if you are balancing everything. So this is a very nice strategy. Put in a lot of work, and then you will be expecting very good returns after the results. So 14 to 15 hours for full time aspirants, but 7 to 8 hours for working professionals, because anyways you are working for 8 to 9 hours every day, and then as per human body you need to at least have 6 to 7 hours of sleep. So if you are able to put in 7 to 8 hours every day, that can help you at least cover the syllabus and be confident about cracking this examination. So working professionals can invest half the time. And I would always say there's no thing such as excelling in one subject and then scoring a very high rank. To get into the top 70s, to get into the top 100s, everything has to converge. You have to have good marks in essay, GS, optional, as well as personality test. And this is why I have written this bullet point in total number of hours itself, because you have to give equal amount of time for GS, optional, and even essay. I would say you can give a decent amount of time for essay writing so that it will enhance your score. And personality test is something that needs to be done after the mains. So we can make a separate video on that. So for now, if you're preparing for the examination, focus on GS, optional and essay. That is something that you need to do time and again. Another question which I get asked is timeline for beginners. Like, sir, how did you prepare the entire syllabus within a year? How did you appear for prelims? Cracked it in the first attempt even when you were not working full time, and then immediately went for the mains. So this is basically a blueprint which I'll be providing. Now the first thing is about NCERTs. Now you need not read all the NCERTs. Read only those NCERTs for subjects like geography, for subjects like history, and you need not read NCERTs from 6th standard or 1st standard. 10th, 11th, 12th NCERTs are usually sufficient. So that is something that you can read. Read them as novels for the first reading. They are 100-page books. You can finish one NCERT in one day, even if you are working full time. So you can finish one NCERT in 7 or 8 hours. So 1 month for NCERTs. Why do I say 1 month? Because you can have 2 to 3 readings of these NCERTs, and that will help you get comfortable with any particular topic. Suppose you are an engineering student and you are reading geography after a long period of time. If you have 2 to 3 readings of geography NCERTs, it will basically get you in touch with the concepts, and it will get you away from the objective thinking to basically theoretical thinking. So that is why I say NCERTs are a must for cracking this particular examination. Then go to the standard reference books. Now remember, the standard reference books are huge books. They are very thick, and then if you start reading standard reference books from day one, you may get bored. So for that, you need to create a base with NCERTs and then go ahead with respect to the standard reference books. Now you can take 2 months to basically go through the standard reference book for each subject. Now what are these standard reference books? For example, Lakshmikant is there for polity. There's Nitin Singhania for art and culture. There's Ramesh Singh for economy. So these are some of the standard reference books which you may be referring, and you need to go through two readings at least in a period of 2 months for all the subjects. So how will this help? Why I'm emphasizing on 2 or 3 readings? Because first reading should be as a novel, so that you stay interested into that particular topic. Then you go into the second reading, you start actually thinking from examination point of view. Then before the third reading, you actually go through the previous year questions, see what questions were asked, whether you are able to answer those or not. And then when you are going for the third reading, you actually have that examination mindset while reading that particular book. So that is why I always emphasize on 2 to 3 readings for both NCERTs and the standard reference books. Optional, it can be anywhere from 1.5 to 3 months. Depending upon the length of the syllabus. For maths, it took me 3 months because I was working full time at that time and studying part time. It may take you 2 months if you are having maths as an optional and if you are studying full time. So depending upon your situation, I would say the maximum amount of time you should be giving for optional is 3 months, and you should be finished with your first reading, and if possible, one reading and one revision is something that you can do in this span of 3 months. Again, that will help you retain the concept for much longer amount of time. Mains. Once you are finished, so this can help you both for prelims and mains, but for mains also you have to start a special preparation. Why do I say that? Because for mains, if you look at the main syllabus, there are a lot of topics which get added. For example, there's society and social justice, there's disaster management, internal security. These are the things which we don't find in standard reference books and NCERTs. And then you have to make notes on these particular topics. So that is why I have mentioned a separate point for mains, which may take you around 2 months. Now remember, during this mains preparation, you also have to start answer writing, especially for GS. I'll be making a separate video which will have a comprehensive outline for answer writing for mains. I'll also be touching some points in this particular video, and so you need to go through at least 2 months for mains preparation for your notes making as well as your answer writing, and all of this is before your prelims examination. Now answer writing. So this is mains preparation. You have to start your answer writing during the mains preparation itself, but at the same time, after prelims, if you are sure about qualifying the prelims, or if you have a 50-50 probability, I would say immediately start answer writing even after prelims, so that you are in that constant nag of answer writing. You improve your speed, you basically structure your answer in a better way, and then you go forward from there. So answer writing is basically a two-phase process, before prelims and after prelims. Now test series, I'll be talking in detail in the next slides also, but test series for prelims, so 2.5 months before the examination. So I believe that for prelims, you need to solve at least 50 tests. So what is 50 tests is equivalent to 5000 MCQs. You will be getting a few wrong, you will be getting a lot of them right. It will improve your confidence. When you go through the wrong ones, you will start remembering that this is something that went wrong, and then you will remember it for longer periods of time. You will start making notes of what things went wrong, and then basically that will help your retention power. So I basically tell everyone to have around 50 to 60 tests in the last 2.5 months before prelims. But if you have time, you can start test series in this phase itself. You can start exploring objective questions which can be asked and then solving them. But my personal recommendation would be going for 50 to 60 tests in 2.5 months before the mains examination, prelims examination. For mains also, test series is very important. As I have already mentioned, that answer writing has to be started with mains preparation and after prelims. In this scenario itself, you will join a test series. Now this test series is something that you have to officially subscribe for. So this will again, you will, during the mains preparation, during this phase, you will be writing one test every 2 weeks or in that fashion. One test for GS this week, one test for optional next week, and so on. But for after prelims, you have to write one test for GS and one test for maths every week. So you will be writing 2 tests. So that is something that you need to manage time for. More details on this in the next few slides. Personality test, you don't have to worry about it right now, because the biggest hurdles right now for any aspirant is prelims and mains. So focus on those things first, and then after the mains, when you're sure that you'll be cracking the examination, you have that sort of a confidence, then you can start preparing for personality test. Balancing time, optional and GS. So I have already mentioned this. To get a good rank, everything has to converge. GS, optional, and essay. Again, essay is missing here, but I would re-emphasize that you need to give equal time for essays. Now optional and GS, I have mentioned the same things. You have to focus first on the content, and then you have to focus on answer writing. For answer writing, a separate video will be made about what are the different phases of answer writing, but there are two timelines for answer writing, as I have mentioned previously. One is before prelims. You need to have at least 2 months of experience going into the prelims, wherein you have written answers, and then after prelims, every day you have to write answers until the mains, except for the last 1.5 or 2 weeks at max. So content development is very important, because if you are writing answers without content, it is just structuring of an answer. You need to have content. So content development is one of the most important things. So first 15-20 days, focus only on content. Once you have that confidence about, in the previous timelines we have mentioned, of those first 15-20 days, focus on the content, and then go with respect to answer writing for both optional and GS. Managing time for daily current affairs. Again, a question which I get frequently, sir, how many newspapers to read? I would say 1 newspaper every day, either the Indian Express or the Hindu. And how will this help? You need to spend at least 1.5 hour on at max 1.5 hour per newspaper. You need not read every news which is there. Try to read the news from UPSC point of view, mug the UPSC syllabus first of all. Once you have mugged up the UPSC syllabus, when you look at the newspaper, you will start relating things with the UPSC syllabus, and then it will actually limit your time of newspaper reading to about 1.5 hours. So this much amount of time is sufficient, and you can do it either early morning once the newspaper arrives, or you can do it post lunch. I used to do it post lunch because then I used to get sleepy and then I used to read the newspaper. Are notes required? I didn't prepare any particular notes for newspapers. If I did them on A4 sheets just to have a comprehensive overview of that particular topic. But since topics are continuously evolving, I didn't make notes because it would just I would just be keeping adding to that particular note time and again. So what I did was I did not prepare any notes when I read daily newspapers, but then I read monthly magazines. And monthly magazines, why I was reading monthly magazines? Because I was revising the topics and I was having a consolidated point of view about that topic for that particular month. So this actually reduced my donkey work with respect to making notes. So that is something that I would advise. It depends upon your personal comfort, but if monthly magazines are available, if someone is doing the hard job for you, you need not make notes every day because the topics are continuously evolving. Revisions. Most important part is revision. Now, why do I say that? Imagine you have 365 days of content, and if you have not revised it, you won't be able to remember anything during the prelims, during the mains and personality test. So revision is must. There need to be around 4 to 5 revisions for prelims of the current affairs. There need to be around 4 to 5 revisions of the monthly magazines of current affairs for your mains. How this will help is, it will help you retain the facts, it will help you to remember the pros and the cons, and it will also help you to explore different conclusions which you may need to write in the mains examination. So this helps you in a lot of different ways. It helps you basically, I would say, crack the examination, both prelims and mains, and interviews also, because there may be a lot of questions which are asked based on current affairs. So revision is very important. Read it as fast as possible, but revise it as comprehensively as possible. There need to be at least 3 to 4 revisions before prelims and before mains. Just to deviate a little bit from the topic, here at Unacademy, I'll be basically taking a plus course, and this will be on ethics and society and social justice. There will be 2 courses which I will be taking, and if there are any future courses, you can use my code VN37. V is for Vinayak, N is for Narwade, and 37 is my All India rank, and you can use this code basically to search for and subscribe to my courses on the Unacademy platform. So answer writing, I'll deal in a little bit of detail in this particular slide. When to start. So this is the mains preparation which I had explained in the first slide, which was basically for 2 months, wherein I had said that we'll be noting down points on the new topics which emerge in the main syllabus, like disaster management, internal security. So by the time you complete 15 days, I would say you will have a decent amount of content wherein you can start writing answers, and that is when you have to start writing answers. This is before the prelims. So I have previously mentioned 2 months of daily answer writing is a must before you go for the prelims, because that will give you a lot of confidence. Prelims to mains is only 80 to 90 days period, but if you have that sort of confidence that after prelims you will be able to crack mains, then that sort of confidence can also give you the boost to crack prelims much more easily. So if you have 2 months of answer writing before prelims, it is going to do wonders for you. Now, how to do answer writing before prelims? Now, this will be 5 questions daily. Now, which are these 5 questions? These will be your previous year questions of UPSC. This will be previous year questions of UPSC. So, you will be writing 5 questions daily. You will be self-evaluating. You will be giving them to your peers who will evaluate it for you, and at the same time, you will also evaluate their answers for them. So, this is basically a mutual give and take thing that works. So, previous year questions, very important, because that gives you the ability to go into the examiner's shoes and actually think about what question can be asked from a particular topic. So this is very important, especially this phase before prelims. Now post prelims, there are 2 phases. Immediately after prelims, you will be writing 5 questions every day. So 5 questions. Now these will be from different test series which are available in the market. or any online platform which is providing for daily answer writing. So this is something that you need to do, because this will have a lot of current affairs based questions. You prepared on the static question before prelims. Now here you will be doing static plus current affairs. So that is how you will develop a knack of writing answers for different situations, if it is a current affairs based topic, or if it is a current affair derived question based on static portion. So this phase is very important. And then last month before mains, you will be writing 10 questions every day. 5 will be 10 markers and 5 will be 15 markers. So you will be writing answers for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So this is again very important. It will not only help you improve your speed, but at the same time it will also help you improve the structure and the content of your answer. So these two phases, before prelims and post prelims, are extremely important. If you have some time, please pause this video, take a look at this comprehensively, and then go forward with respect to answer writing. Test series for prelims and test series for mains. I recommend everyone to solve around 50 to 60 tests in the 2.5 months before the prelims examination. And this is only for GS, what I am telling. I am not talking about CSAT, I am talking about GS paper 1. So this is about paper 1. So I recommend taking test series from the market, which may be of any 2 coaching institutes. You need not officially subscribe to them. They are already available in the market. Prelims is basically based on self-evaluation. You need a third party to evaluate you. So how to divide that particular day, the 2.5 months before prelims. So if you are working for 15 to 16 hours, I would say 5 hours will be for your test series, 2 hours of paper solving and 3 hours of self-evaluation. So what do I mean by that? You will read line by line everything what is written in the explanation of that particular paper. So 5 hours you will be putting it down here, and then remaining 10 hours you will be either 5 hours you will be or 3 hours you will be revising current affairs, which will be monthly magazines, and remaining 7 hours you can work on the static portion. So this is how I divide my 15 hours time period in the 2.5 months before prelims. 5 hours for tests, 10 from the remaining 10 hours, 3 hours for current affairs revision, and 7 hours for static portion. If you are able to do this, it will be very good. And book of wrongs, this is a concept I picked up from my mathematics optional, wherein the questions which are going wrong, especially the current affairs related questions in this test series, I'll be noting them down and I'll be revising them again and again and again, so that when if similar questions appear in the examination, you will be able to do it with much ease. You don't have to write all the wrong questions in the book of wrongs. Only write those questions which are related to current affairs, because if something is related to static portion, just go to that particular topic, read it comprehensively and just leave it then and there. But book of wrongs is only for current affairs. This is only and only for current affairs, not for the static portion. CSAT. CSAT, I would say a lot of this CSAT test series depends upon your educational background. If you are a STEM student, science, technology, engineering or medicine, you may be probably very good with respect to mathematics. So what you need to do is you need to solve only 4 previous year question papers, 4 to 5 previous year question papers, just so that it gives you a timeline about how to solve a CSAT paper, how many questions are there. There are around 80 questions, which section I have to focus on, whether it is maths or English comprehension. And this will be again only UPSC previous year questions. You need not solve any coaching institute previous year questions if you are a STEM student. 4 tests will do it for you. But aspirants with a non-STEM background. Now non-STEM background, you need to practice as per your comfort level. You need to solve as many papers as possible. There may be 10 or 20 papers you might need to solve depending upon your comfort level, your confidence level, and depending upon that practice, depending upon that feedback, depending upon that self-evaluation, then decide whether you want to solve more of aptitudinal based questions or maths based questions, or whether you have to go towards the comprehensive related questions. For non-STEM background students, I would advise make a note of those questions which are frequently asked by the UPSC, especially in the maths section, and write down those formulas and revise those formulae frequently, so that if such a question appears in the examination, you will be at much more ease to solve it. I would just advise one thing. I have seen in the last 2 attempts a lot of students who have scored extremely well in the GS paper but have not able to qualify the CSAT examination. They have not been able to score 66.67 marks. So don't take this lightly. Even if you are from STEM background, at least solve 4 papers. If you are from non-STEM background, I need not tell you about the seriousness about the CSAT papers. I believe that you will be putting in that effort to basically excel in this particular thing. Now, test series for mains. Test series for mains and test series for optional. You need to officially subscribe to a test series program, both for your GS and for your optional. Why do I say that? Because mains is about answer writing. There is no right or wrong. There is a continuous improvement. So you need a third party feedback, a third party evaluation. That's why you need to be officially subscribed to a test series. This will help you very much. If it is before prelim session, you can write one test for GS this week, one test for your optional next week, and then so on. So one test for GS bi-weekly and one test for your optional bi-weekly. But after prelims, I would definitely say that you need to write one test each for mains, for GS and for your optional every week. So that is something that you would say. Also, test series, you can also join it for an essay. There will be around 4 to 5 tests. You'll be writing full length tests. But for essay, as I have mentioned in a separate video, a special video which I have prepared for essay strategy, that you need to write at least one essay every week after prelims, and then one complete test every week in the last month before mains. So this was for essay. And please work on the feedback. Don't just submit the papers and be relaxed that I have written down the essay, and Vinayak sir had said that if you write the test series, you will be able to score good marks. Unless and until you work on the feedback, especially in the mains paper, you won't be able to improve on the marks. So work on the feedback extensively. Talk to your peers, talk to your mentors, talk to the people who have checked your papers in the coaching institute, and try to find out ways how can you improve your particular answer, how can you get the best answer. See, in the mains examination, you have to write at least 10 best answers, 5 mediocre answers, and 5 so and so answers. If you are able to do this, only then your score will be above 90 in each subject. And that is something that is sine qua non for basically scoring a very good rank in the UPSC Civil Services examination. So working on the feedback is a very important thing. So that was about time management for the Civil Services examination, how to deal with studies and work or entirely studies and complete them in a period of 1.5 months. Stay tuned for future videos and subscribe to the Unacademy platform. Thank you.